Exodus chapter 22. Yo, if a dude jacks someone's ox or sheep and straight up kills it or sells it, he got to pay back 5 oxen for that stolen ox and 4 sheep for that stolen sheep, or a goat if it was a goat and not a sheep. If someone catches a thief breaking in and ends up killing them, they won't be held responsible for it. If it's daylight and he's caught, there will be consequences. He's got to make things right or face the consequences. If he's broke, he'll have to be sold to pay off his theft. If someone is caught stealing and they still have the stolen item, whether it's an ox, a donkey, or a sheep, they got to give back double the amount they took. If someone lets their animal eat another person's field or vineyard, they got to make up for it by sharing the best stuff from their own field and vineyard. If a fire starts and spreads to the thorny bushes, destroying the stacks of corn, standing corn, or field, the person who started the fire must absolutely make up for the damages. If someone entrusts their neighbor with money or things to keep and it gets stolen from their house and the thief is caught, they got to pay back double, fam. If they can't find the thief, then they got to bring the homeowner to the court to check if they stole their neighbor's stuff. If someone does something wrong, like taking someone's ox or donkey or sheep or clothes or anything that someone claims is theirs, both sides will bring their cases before the judges. Whoever the judges find guilty will have to pay double to their neighbor. If someone gives their neighbor an animal to take care of, like a donkey or a cow or a sheep, and it dies or gets injured or goes missing, and no one witnessed it happening. So, like if someone swears by the Lord that they didn't take their neighbor's stuff, they got to make an oath. And if the owner agrees and accepts it, they don't have to make it right or pay anything back. And if someone stole it from him, he's got to give it back to the owner, like no questions asked. If it's torn up, bring it as proof and don't fix what got torn. If someone borrows something from their friend and it gets damaged or dies while the owner isn't around, they definitely got to make it right and fix the situation. If the owner is present, he does not have to compensate for any damages. If it's something that he borrowed, it's his responsibility to return it as it was. If a guy tries to get with a girl who's not engaged yet and they hook up, he's got to make things right and marry her for recall. If her dad's like totally not down to let her be with the guy, he's got to cough up some cash based on what other girls usually get as a dowry. Pay in Hebrew, or way. No witch is allowed to exist, dude. If anyone engages in intimate relations with an animal, they will definitely face the ultimate consequences, dude. Anyone who worships any god other than the Lord will totally face destruction. Don't be a jerk to someone new or treat them unfairly. Because remember when you were the newbies in Egypt. Don't be mean to widows or kids without parents. If you ever hurt them in any way and they reach out to me, I promise I'll listen to their plea. And I'm going to be super mad, like seriously heated, and I'll totally wreck you with my sword. Plus, your wives will be left without husbands and your kids without dads. It's going to be intense, no doubt. If you lend money to any of my peeps who are struggling, don't be all greedy and charge some crazy interest. Be cool and don't make their debt worse. If you ever borrow your friend's clothes as collateral, make sure to give it back to them before the sun sets down. That's just his outfit, man, his clothes for his body. Where's he going to crash? But yo, when he calls out to me, I got his back because I'm all about that kindness. Don't diss the deities and don't trash talk the leader of your squad. Gods are judges. I don't get that. King James says, thou shalt not revile the gods. That must be talking about the leaders because we're not to honor no other gods. That doesn't make sense. 29, don't procrastinate when it comes to giving me the first of your fresh fruits and drinks. You got to offer up your firstborn sons too. Don't hold back or hesitate. Just give them to me. No holding on to the good stuff for yourself. And you got to do the same thing with your oxen and sheep. They stay with their mom for 7 days. Then on the 8th day, you hand them over to me. Yo, you got to be all righteous and stuff for me. Like, don't even munch on any meat from dead animals found in the wild. Just toss it to the dogs. Chapter 23. Don't spread fake news. Don't join the bad ones to be an unfair witness. Don't just go along with the crowd when they're doing wrong things, and don't let yourself be influenced by others when they're twisting the truth. Think before you speak and always stand up for what is right. And you shouldn't unfairly judge or ignore a person who's less fortunate when they need help. If you come across your enemy's ox or donkey that's lost, you got to return it to them, no doubt. If you spot the ride of someone you're not cool with collapsed under its load and you're thinking of not lending a hand, think again. You got to join forces and help them out, no doubt. You shall not unfairly distort the judgment of those less fortunate in their case. Stay away from spreading false rumors and don't harm the innocent and righteous. I won't let the wicked off the hook, just so you know. And don't accept any bribes because they can blind the smart ones and twist the words of the righteous. The smart ones, in Hebrew, the ones with clear vision. Don't be a jerk to someone new in town. You know what it's like to be the new kid. Remember when you were just tourists in Egypt. You got to plant those crops for 6 years straight, then reap the tasty rewards. But every seventh year, you got to give it a break and let it chill. So the less fortunate peeps can have something to eat. And whatever they don't eat, the wild animals can munch on. Oh, and don't forget to do the same for your vineyard and the trees too, you know. Yo, hustle for 6 days straight, but on the seventh day, take a chill pill. It's not just for you, but also for your animals, your peeps, and even the outsiders. Give them some time to recharge and refresh. Yo, be careful with everything I've been telling you, fam. Don't even bring up the name of any other gods. Like, don't even let it slip from your mouth. Yo, you got to throw down 3 sick parties for me each year. Celebrate the Feast of Unleavened Bread. You got to munch on that unleavened bread for a whole week. Just like I told you during the specific month of Abib, because that's when you escape from Egypt, and no one should show up before me empty-handed. And like there's this awesome celebration, the Harvest Fest. It's all about the first wave of epic crops that you've been working so hard on in the fields, you know. And then there's this other rad celebration, the big gathering party. That goes down at the end of the year when you've totally harvested all your hard work from the fields. It's lit. Yo, dudes, 3 times a year, all you guys got to show up before the Lord God. Don't mix the blood of my sacrifice with bread that has yeast in it. And make sure the fat of my sacrifice doesn't hang around until morning. Sacrifice or feast. Make sure to offer the first crops from your land at the crib of the big guy upstairs. And remember, it's a no-no to cook a baby goat in its mom's milk. Yo, check it out. I'm sending an angel ahead of you to guide you on your journey and lead you to the awesome destination I've got all set up for you. Yo, watch out for the dude. Respect what he's saying. Don't get on his nerves because he won't forgive your mess ups because my name's all up in it. But if you actually listen to what he says and do everything I tell you, then I'll totally have your back. Taking on your enemies as my own enemies and battle against those who battle against you. Or I'll bring the hurt to those who hurt you. Check it out. My angels got your back, leading you straight to the Amorites, Hittites, Perizzites, Canaanites, Hivites, and Jebusites. Oh, and heads up, I'm totally going to wipe them out. No problem. Don't worship their gods. Don't be their minions. Don't copy their moves. Show them who's boss and demolish their god idols completely. And like you got to be totally devoted to the Lord, your God, you know. He'll totally hook you up with blessings for your grub and your drinks. And like no words, dude, I'll make sickness disappear from your crew. No one's going to be left empty-handed or unable to have kids in your area. I'm going to make sure you live your best life. I'm about to strike fear into your haters and wipe out anyone who stands in your way. They'll all end up bowing down to you, no doubt about it. Backs for Hebrew or necks. And I'll totally send some epic hornets ahead of you, like seriously, pesky ones, to kick out those Hivite, Canaanite, Hittite dudes before you. So like no worries, fam. I won't kick them all out at once because then the land will be totally wrecked and the wild animals will totally outnumber you. I'll gradually vibe check them until you level up and secure that land, fam. I'll mark out your territory from the Red Sea to the Sea of the Philistines and from the desert to the river. I'll hand over the people living in the land to you and you'll kick them out. Don't even think about making any deals with them or their gods, okay? Don't let them live in your land or they'll lead you astray and make you go against my rules. If you start worshiping their God, it'll definitely mess you up. So God was like, yo, Moses, come chill with me along with Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and like 70 other cool Israelite homies. Let's vibe and worship from a distance, bro. Only Moses will approach the Lord, but the others got to keep their distance. No one else can go up there with him. So Moses came and shared with the people everything that the Lord had said, including all the rules and laws, and all the people responded together saying, we're totally down to do everything the Lord wants. So Moses wrote down everything the Lord said and got up really early in the morning. He made an altar up on the hill and built 12 pillars to represent the 12 tribes of Israel. So he picked some cool dudes from the gang of Israel who were down to offer up some lit burnt offerings and sacrifice some chill peace offerings of oxen to the Lord. So Moses took half of the blood and put it in these fancy bowls. And then he sprinkled the other half of the blood on the altar. And he grabbed the covenant book and started reading it in front of everyone. And they were like, we got you, God. We're going to do everything you said and be totally obedient. And Moses yoinked the blood and sprinkled it on the peeps and was like, check it out, y'all. This blood is the real deal covenant that the Lord made with you about all these words. So Moses, Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, and the OG 70 of Israel's elders all went up. And they totally saw God, right? And under his feet, it was this epic sapphire floor, so shiny and blue. And it looked like the whole sky was crystal clear. And he didn't harm the leaders of the Israelites. They actually saw God and had a chill time eating and drinking together. Yo, Moses, listen up. Come chill with me on this epic mountain, and I'll hook you up with some legit stone tablets, a sick code of laws and commandments that I have personally written. Your job, spread the wisdom and teach them to the people. So Moses and his bro Joshua were like, time to climb this lit mountain where God's at. And he was like, yo, elders, just chill here for a sec until we come back to you. Aaron and Hur got your backs. So if any of y'all need anything, go hit them up. So Moses went up to the mountain, and this big cloud totally covered the whole thing. So the awesome power of the Lord was just chilling on Mount Sinai. And there was this epic cloud covering it for a whole 6 days. Then on the 7th day, he straight up called out to Moses from the middle of that cloud. Yo, peep this. The glory of the Lord was legit fire vibes, blazing on the mountaintop, straight up captivating the eyes of the children of Israel. So Moses entered this super thick cloud and went up the mountain. He stayed on that mountain for a cool 40 days and 40 nights. Exodus 25. And God was like, yo, Moses, listen up. Yo, tell Israel fam to come through with some offerings, and whatever they give willingly from the heart, that's the real deal offering. Ye shall accept it on my behalf. Feel me? So these are the things you got to collect from them. Gold, silver, and brass, like a way of showing gratitude or respect, if you want to get all formal with it. Hashtag heave offering. There were cool colors like blue, purple, and scarlet, as well as fancy fabrics like fine linen, silk, and goat's hair. And some really cool red colored sheepskins, as well as skins from super red badgers. And this really awesome wood called Shittim wood. Yo, we need some lit oil for the lamps, some dope spices for the anointing oil, and some fire incense for that sweet aroma. Some 6 onyx stones and stones to flex in the ephod, and in the dope breastplate. Yo, tell them to build me a dope sanctuary so I can chill and vibe with them. I'm about to show you everything, like how exactly the tabernacle should look, along with all the stuff that goes with it. You got to make it exactly like that. No changes. So they got to build this super cool ark with Shittim wood. It's going to be about 2.5 cubits long, 1.5 cubits broad, and 1.5 cubits high. Pretty rad, right? And you got to bling it out with more gold, both on the inside and the outside. Plus, don't forget to add a sick gold crown around it. And yo, you got to get 4 fire rings made of gold and put them in the 4 corners of it. Then there's going to be 2 things on one side, 2 rings on one side, 2 rings on the other side. You feel me? You got to make some thick wooden sticks out of acacia wood and cover them with gold. And you got to slide those poles into the rings on the sides of the ark so you can carry the ark with them. The poles got to stay in the rings of the ark. No taking them out. Duh. And you got to totally put in the ark the testimony that I'm going to give you. You know what I'm saying? Make a super dope mercy seat out of hardcore gold, 2.5 cubits long, 1.5 cubits wide, no cap. And you got to create 2 sick cherubims out of gold, totally made, pounding that metal. and you got to put them on the two dope ends of the mercy seat, and put one angel on one side and another angel on the other side. Like, make sure to include the angel emojis at both ends of the mercy seat. Angel emojis. And the cherubs will flex their wings up high, totally shielding the mercy seat with their wings. And they'll be facing each other too, with their gaze fixed on the mercy seat. And like, you got to place the mercy seat on top of the ark, and then inside the ark, you got to put the testimony that I'm going to give you. You feel me? And there I'll chill with you, and we'll have a deep convo about the mercy seat right between those two cherubims that are in the ark of the testimony, discussing all the things I'm going to tell you for the children of Israel. You got to craft a table of shittim wood, bro. Make it 2 cubits long, cubit wide, and 1.5 cubits tall. And you got to flex it with pure gold and add a sick golden crown all around it. And you'll put a hand width border all around it with a rad golden crown on the top of the border. And you got to slap some of the gold rings on it, 4 to be exact, and stick those rings on the 4 corners of that thing's 4 feet. On the edge of the table, there will be rings for the poles to carry it. And you got to use some dope shittim wood to make the handles. Then bling them out with gold so that they can carry the table like a boss. And you got to flex on those dinnerware sets with dope plates. I know you didn't just say that. Lit spoons and stylish lids. I ain't reading that. Along with some sick bowls to keep it all looking fresh. And don't even trip. They all got to be made out of solid gold. And you should always keep a lit table with some cool snacks in front of me. You got to create a lit candlestick out of pure gold. It's got to be crafted skillfully and hammered down, The main body, the branches, the bowls, the decorative knobs, and the beautiful flowers, they all got to be made from the same gold. And there will be 6 branches sticking out of it, with 3 branches on one side of the candlestick and 3 branches on the other side. There were 3 bowls on each branch of the candlestick, shaped like almonds, with a cool knob and a flower. So there were 6 branches in total, each with 3 almond-shaped bowls, a stylish knob, and a cute flower. And on the lampstand, there will be 4 almond-shaped bowls adorned with their decorative buds and flowers. And there's going to be a cool little thingy under 2 branches, and another cool little thingy under 2 branches, and yet another cool thingy under 2 branches, just like the 6 branches coming out of the candlestick. Their decoration and their branches will be made from the same material. Everything is going to be solid, shiny gold masterpiece. And you got to make these 7 lamps and light them up so they can give off some light in front of them. You know what I'm saying? Got to make sure that light shines bright and all. You feel me? And like the tongs and snuff dishes, they got to be made with pure gold, He's got to make it with a whole talent of pure gold and all these sick accessories. And make sure you create them as I showed you on the mountain. Exodus 26. And like, you got to create the tabernacle with these sick 10 curtains made out of fine twined linen. Got to have that blue, purple, and scarlet vibes going on. And oh yeah, don't forget to add some dope cherubims with mad skills to make them look fly. They got to be like crafted by a skill artist, Each curtain be like 28 cubits long, 4 cubits wide, and all the curtains the same size. Like the 5 curtains got to be all joined together, And then there's like another set of 5 curtains that's got to be joined together. It's all about connecting them, dude. And you got to add some sick blue loops at the edge of one curtain where it connects to another curtain. And make sure you do the same on the other side too. Oh, and by the way, selvage is like super cool edge of the fabric that won't ever unravel. Make 50 loops in the first curtain and 50 loops in the edge of the second curtain so that the loops can connect with each other. So like, you got to make 50 sick gold thingies and then like totally connect the curtains using those thingies. And boom, it'll become like this one awesome tabernacle. And you got to use some real fancy goat's hair to make curtains to cover the tabernacle. Make sure you got 11 curtains and no more, no less. Each curtain will be like 30 cubits long and 4 cubits wide. And all the 11 curtains will be the same size. You got to hook up 5 curtains separately, these 6 curtains separately, and fold the 6th curtain in the front of the tabernacle. And you got to put like 50 loops on the edge of the first curtain, the one that's on the outside when you connect them. And then 50 more loops on the edge of the curtain that connects the second man. Make like 50 brass hooks and stick them into the loops and connect the tent so that it's all one piece, or like covering if you prefer that term. So like the leftover curtains of the tent, the half curtain that's still there, gotta be hanging at the back of the tabernacle, on both sides of the remaining length of curtains of the tent, there shall be a cubit hanging over the sides of the tabernacle to cover it. You got to make a sick cover of the tent out of red dyed ram skin and throw on top some lit badger skins. And you got to make some dope boards for the tabernacle using Shedem wood, standing tall like complete legends. Like one board will be 10 cubits long. It'll be like a cubit and a half wide. There got to be 2 grooves in each plank. Line up perfectly side by side. That's how you got to make all the plans for the tabernacle. So make the boards for the tabernacle, like 20 boards on the south side facing the south direction and stuff. And you got to make like 40 silver sockets and stuff to go under the 20 boards. Like each board needs two sockets for its own lessons. And like another board needs 2 sockets for its tenons too. Just so you're clear, tenons means hands. And on the other side of the tabernacle, specifically on the north side, there'll be a total of 20 boards. And they had like 40 silver supports, 2 supports under each board and 2 supports under another board. And on the back side of the tabernacle towards the west, you got to make 6 dope boards, and make 2 dope boards for the corners of the tabernacle, 1 on each side. And they will be connected underneath and connected above its head to 1 ring. This is how it'll be for both of them. They'll be for the 2 corners. So there will be a total of 8 boards with 16 silver sockets, 2 sockets under each board. And you got to create bars of lit Shedem wood, like 5 of for the panels on one side of the tabernacle. And there were 5 bars for the boards on the opposite side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards on the side of the tabernacle facing westward. And like there's going to be this rad bar that goes right smack dab in the middle of the boards, stretching all the way from one end to the other like a total boss move. And like you got to straight up cover those boards with gold, and make some sick gold rings for the bars to slide into. Don't forget to bring out the bars themselves with gold too. And you shall set up the tabernacle just like how it was shown to you on the mountain, and you should totally flex a sick fabric made of blue, purple, and scarlet threads, all woven together by a master weaver. Gotta include some fly cherubim vibes in there too, And you gotta hang it on these 4 fancy pillars made out of gold covered Shedem wood. The golden hook should be on 4 shiny silver sockets. Hang up the curtain with the hook so that you can bring the Ark of the Testimony inside the curtain. It will separate the sacred area from the super sacred area. And like put the mercy seat on top of the Ark in the super holy place, Then you got to make sure the table is all set without any fancy curtains blocking the view. Put that cool candlestick right across from the table on the side of the tabernacle facing south. And don't forget to place the table on the north side, fam. And you got to make like a cool super curtain for the door of the tent. It should be like totally stylish with blue, purple, and scarlet fabrics and some fancy needlework to make it look rad. And you got to make like 5 cool pillars for the hanging using this lit Shedem wood, then cover them in gold. The hooks got to be all fancy gold too. Oh, and make these 5 dope brass sockets for them. Exodus 27. So like you're going to need to build an altar, right? But not just any altar. It's got to be made from Shedem wood. Make it 5 cubits long, 5 cubits wide, and keep it all equal and symmetrical, Oh, and don't forget about the height. It should be 3 cubits. Keep those measurements in check. And you got to put some cool horns on each of the 4 corners. They got to match, and then cover the whole thing in some dope brass. And make sure you've got some wicked plans for all the ashes, plus shovels, basins, flesh hooks, and fire pans, all made of brass, no less. And you got to make like this cool mesh thingy out of brass. Then on the mesh, you got to put these 4 sick brass rings in each of the corners, and you're going to like place it below the area around the altar so that the net covers the whole altar. And you got to get some handles for the altar, making handles made of durable sheeting wood, and cover them up with a slick brass coating. And so the poles should totally go into the rings, and they'll be on both sides of the altar, carry it. You got to build it hollow using boards, just like you were shown on the mountain. That's exactly how it should be made, no doubt. And you got to create a sick outdoor area for the tabernacle. For the southern side, there's going to be those dope hangings made of finest linen, each one stretching 100 cubits long for one side. Like there'll be 20 dope brass pillars and matching sockets, and the hooks and fancy little fillets on the pillars will be made of silver bling. I guess not fillets, something like that. And on the north side, there will be curtains that are 100 cubits long with 20 pillars and their 20 brass bases. The hook on the pillars and their silver ring will also be there. The chill vibes of the court on the west side will be summoned or surrounded by trendy hangings that stretch for 50 cubits. Got to have those 10 awesome pillars and 10 cool sockets to keep everything in place. And the width of the court on the east side facing east will be 50 cubits. On the one side of the gate, there will be hanging drapes that measure 15 cubits. They'll be held up by 3 pillars and supported by 3 sockets. And on the other side, there will be cool hangings that are like 15 cubits long. They'll have 3 dope pillars and 3 solid sockets. The entrance to the court will have a cool hanging that's 20 cubits long, made with some sick blue, purple, scarlet, and fine twined linen, all crafted with mad needlework skills. There'll be 4 pillars and 4 sockets to support it. Like all the pillars surrounding the court should be ordained with silver, man. Their hooks got to be silver too, and their sockets made of brass. The court should be 100 cubits long, 50 cubits wide all around, with a height of 5 cubits made of high quality twisted linen, and their bases made of brass, 50 by 50 cubits. Like all the stuff inside the tabernacle, and like all the pegs and all the pegs outside the court, they got to be made of brass, And you got to tell all Israel squad to hook up with that premium olive oil, like top-notch kind, all beaten down smooth to keep the lamb shining nonstop. To ascend, Hebrew for going up in flames. In the lit hangout spot outside the curtain, the place where all the good vibes go down, Aaron and his crew gotta take care of business from dusk till dawn in front of the Lord. This is going to be for everything for all their descendants, looking out for the kids of Israel. Exodus 28. Moses, listen up. Grab your bro Aaron and his squad, the sons of Israel. They're going to help me out as priests. Aaron, Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar, Aaron's boys. And you got to create some dope threads for your bro Aaron to flex and look fly. You got to talk to all the smarts out there, the ones that I feel with lots of wisdom. They're going to make some fresh outfits for Aaron to set him apart so he can do his thing as the main priest for me. So here's the deal. They got to make those dope threads for Aaron, your bro and his squad. We talking a fancy breastplate, an ephod, a rad robe, a sick embroidered coat, a snazzy mitre, and a stick girdle. All these lit garments are going to be holy, extremely, because Aaron and his boys got to look fresh when they serve as priests and do their thing for me. And they'll grab some gold and purple, blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen. They got to make the ephod word up out of some fire, gold, blue, purple, and scarlet fabric, along with some sick linen skillfully woven. Like the 2 shoulder pieces of the clothing should totally be connected at the 2 edges. And they should be joined together, The hip accessory on the ephod should also be made of gold, blue, purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen, just like the rest of it. The hip accessory can have cool embroidery too, if you want. So, like, get 2 onyx stones and carve out the names of each and every one of the children of Israel, fam. On one stone, there were 6 names. On another stone, there were 6 names of the remaining stones based on when they were born. Yo, carve those stones like an epic stone engraver, just like those super detailed signet rings. But here's the dope part. You got to engrave them with the names of the Israelite homies. Then slide those bad boys into the fancy gold settings like some bougie jewelry. And you got to put those 2 lit stones on the shoulders of the ephod to remember the children of Israel. And Aaron's got to flex those names representing to the Lord on his sick shoulders as a reminder. And you got to flex some gold bling on your accessories. And you got to have these sick gold chains at the ends, man. They got to be made all fancy with some dope twisted patterns. And then you got to attach those sick chains to the fancy jewelry pieces. Make a judgment bling with some sick craftsmanship, just like how you made the ephod. Use gold, blue, purple, scarlet, and fine twined linen for his fireplace. It's going to be a perfect square, twice in size. I'll measure 1 arm's length in both directions. And you got to put 4 rows of stones on it, like gems and stuff. The first row is going to have a sardius, topaz, and carbuncle. It's going to be all fancy and shiny, man. Oh, and by the way, sardius means ruby. And the second row will have an emerald, a sapphire, a diamond, a low-key flexing with those fancy gems. And the third row has this lit figure, a cool agate and a dope amethyst. On the fourth row, we got some little lit gemstones like beryl, onyx, and jasper. These bad boys are going to be surrounded by some sick gold fillings. You feel me? And the stones will have the names of the Israel fam, like 12 of them, just like how those cool rings have carvings. Each stone will have the name of one of the 12 tribes. You feel me? And you got to add some dope gold chains to the collar of the vest, bro. Make sure they're all fancy and twisted into a sick design. And you got to make 2 sick gold rings for the breastplate and put those dope rings on the outside sides of it. And you got to attach those super cool gold chains onto the 2 rings that are on the end of the breastplate, And you'll attach the other end to the 2 fancy chains of the 2 connectors and place them on the cool shoulder pieces of the ephod in front. And you got to make 2 sick gold rings and put them on the sides of the sweet breastplate right on the edge near the ephod. And you got to make 2 more lit gold rings and put them on the sides under the ephod at the front, opposite to the other ring, above the saggy belt of the ephod. And they got to attach the breastplate to the ephod using some blue string, making sure it's above the fancy belt thingy on the ephod so that the breastplate doesn't come loose from the ephod. And Aaron will wear the names of Israel, fam, in this swaggy breastplate when he enters the holy spot as a dope reminder to the Lord always. And you got to place the Urim and Thummim in the judgment breastplate, They got to be right on Aaron's heart when he's in front of the Lord. Aaron's got to carry judgment of the Israelites on his heart in front of the Lord at all times. And you got to make the ephod robe totally blue, okay? And there's got to be a gap there right in the middle. It's going to be like a cool woven design all around the gap, kind of like a sick armor vest so it doesn't get torn. And on the bottom edge of it, you'll make pomegranates in blue, purple, and scarlet all around. And there'll be golden bells intersped amongst them along the edge. There's this sick bell made of gold and totally rad pomegranate, and they're both attached to the end of this epic robe. Aaron's got to rock his ministry vibes with all his sound as he enters the divine spot before the Lord. He's got to keep it chill when he steps out, or else he'll be straight up gone. You got to create a sick gold plate and carve on it some epic designs, just like fancy ring engravings. It's going to say, holiness to the Lord. You feel me? And you should totally accessorize with a cool blue lace so that it's all fancy on the miter. Make sure it goes right smack on the front of the miter, no doubts. And Aaron will have something on his forehead to take the blame for the holy stuff, the special gifts from the Israelites. It'll always be on his forehead, so they'll be cool with the Lord. And if you got to flex that fresh coat made out of fancy linen, and you got to crash that lit hat, also made out of fine linen. Oh, and don't forget to stay with that fire needlework belt, fam. So, like, make some really cool outfits for Aaron's sons. They got to have rad coats, trendy girls, and like stylish bonnets to rock. It's all about flexing that glory and beauty, you know. And you'll like totally dress up Aaron and your bro and his squad with him. Then you got to anoint them and consecrate them and make them pure so that they can do their thing as priests for me. You know, perform all those holy duties and stuff. Consecrate in Hebrew means to fill their hand. Yo, you got to make them some sick linen shorts to cover up their private areas from the waist all the way down to the thighs, fam. And when Aaron and his sons go into the hangout spot or approach the stage to do their thing, they should always wear those dope clothes so they don't mess up and suffer the consequences. Like, no way. It's a forever rule for Aaron and his fam for real. Please put these words in the comment section. This is the word of the Lord. Follow, like, and subscribe. Hit that arrow at the bottom of the screen and share this video. Shall we pray? Well, Father, the thing that sticks out to me from these passages that we have read is your attention to detail. And we pray that you would touch and help each and every one of us as we go through this day to make sure that we take care of details. Really, the details make the difference, as I heard a message preached many years ago. And taking care of details is really a component of the spirit of excellence. And so what we do, we want to do with excellence. Help us to pay attention to detail, go the extra mile, and experience extra blessings because we're willing to make that sacrifice. We ask it in the name of Jesus, we pray. Let everyone say, thank God. Amen. And put in the comment section, this is the word of the Lord.